Elderly people living alone face great physical and psychological suffering. Some of them may even face difficulties in eating because their hands do not have the strength to pick up a spoon or a glass of water. And some of the elderly have lost their sense of taste and become bored with food. Not only that, living alone is also a torture to their spirit. They can become depressed and autistic because they don't have the company of their family and friends. Living alone is a big challenge for the elderly. They often forget things due to memory loss and break down and cry. They can't read the words on the instructions of the medication, and they are not cured for a long time. And they also suffer from some physical illnesses that make it difficult for them to move around, which can lead to harm to their bodies. This is my grandma. She is 85 years old and she has lived alone for 6 years. My grandpa and grandma loved each other very much, and even though my grandpa was an introvert, he was happy to take pictures with my grandma. After my grandfather passed away, my grandmother's friends came to comfort her and go out with her for a break. And my grandmother found her new hobby, which was dancing. This helps her a lot. My grandmother could beat loneliness because she had a strict daily schedule. She could make her bed and wash herself. If you are wondering why she doesn't brush her teeth, it's because she has lost all her teeth. Taking care of flowers and plants is her favorite thing to do, and she thinks it makes her feel alive. So every time she travels, she takes a picture with a flower. Grandma's best meal was a dish called stewed noodles, and even though she didn't have the strength in her hands to hold scissors, she would insist on cleaning the ingredients before she started cooking. Whenever she made a meal, she would ask everyone to eat it with her, and her familiar words made me feel homesick. She was a clean person. Even though she was so old, she would clean up the dishes in the house. In fact, my grandmother used to be a researcher, but she loved beauty and her dream was to become a model. That's why I have a lot of pictures on my phone that I took for her. Last year, she took a Zoom class on her own about writing poems. Since taking that class, she has especially enjoyed showing us her masterpieces. My grandma's way of overcoming her loneliness is to live her life to the fullest. And when there's nothing else to do, she watches TV or goes downstairs to dance and exercise. During my nearly 20-minute interview with my grandma, she never mentioned that she gets lonely. But in fact, she often spends her evenings alone looking at the family photos she had taken earlier and missing the old days. The second person I interviewed was a staff member of the Senior Rehabilitation Center. The staff said she found that the best way to solve the problem of loneliness is to chat with them or teach them simple activities like knitting or painting.
My grandfather is a patient with Alzheimer's disease. He usually cannot take care of himself, but when he sees mahjong, his favorite game, he will be very awake.
Elderly people living alone are lonely. How can we reduce their loneliness? This is my aunt teaching my grandma how to use her phone. Since she learned how to use her cell phone, my grandma has enjoyed the convenience of online shopping. On her 85th birthday, my aunt and her family flew back to be with her. Although my grandma said,
"You guys are busy. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself."
she really wanted her family to be with her. My mom would fly back on vacation to hang out with my grandma and take pictures with her. Even though my dad is very busy at work, he often uses video calls with my grandma to tell her about recent events. This is my puppy, but she is also 9 years old this year. Every time she comes back to my grandma's house, she stays with her all the time, like two old friends who sympathize with each other. I have to admit that living in a nursing home is actually a good choice for elderly people living alone, whose children are busy with work. The staff will provide them with meticulous care. The nursing home is a big family. Lonely old people will meet like-minded friends who can chat together to relieve boredom and exercise together to cultivate their interests. A survey shows that more people today actually want their parents to go to a nursing home. This is because the care in a nursing home will be more detailed than the care provided by their children. As seen in the movie, nursing homes nowadays can even provide more detailed care for the disabled elderly, whether it is meals, exercise, or giving them companionship. However, during the interviews, I found that most of the Asians I interviewed did not want their parents or grandparents to go to a nursing home, and they may be more likely to take care of them themselves. However, when the questionnaire was taken, a lot more people checked the box of going to a nursing home than taking care of them at home. This proves that times are slowly changing and more people are willing to accept nursing homes.